Big news there in the past couple of days that Clare are going to be for the season without their star attacker John Conlon. Now, obviously, the season is suspended at the moment, and who knows if it'll get going again. Joining with me is Michael Verney to talk about it. First of all, I'll just get it up on the screen. It was the story was there by the Clare Echo last week, so you can see on the story worry for Clare as Conlon picks up knee injury, and basically the story is it happened last week on the 4G pitch at the University of Limerick. Mr. Verney, what do you think? It's as all things told, it's a fairly massive loss.
It's a huge loss, yeah. No point in saying any different. A massive loss. He's had his couple of injury problems the last couple of years. He's had bad kind of ankle ligaments. He's obviously wearing that sleeve as well in his arm because he's had an elbow problem as well. But a cruciate at his age and with the bulk that he carries, and it would be harder for him to move across ground maybe than kind of lighter players, and would take maybe more work to get back fit. It's a massive loss for Clare for this year. Obviously, we don't know. The season is all over the place. We don't exactly know what's going to happen. But realistically, if it's a cruciate, he's out for 9 months. So he won't see any action for at least 9 months. He's the focal point of their attack. When he's playing well, he makes their whole attack tick, basically. And the fullback has to give him extra attention because he's such of a threat that Shane O'Donnell and a couple of other lads get maybe a bit more leeway or are able to go to town a bit more. So, and the fact that he's captain as well this year, Brian Lohan has obviously given him responsibility, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to have an on-field role, which is a massive loss. The fact that it happened on a 4G pitch as well, it's just, I suppose, with the conditions this time of the year, people are being forced to go to all-weather pitches, and I saw someone on Twitter saying that every county should have a 4G pitch, and Jamie Wall, the Mary I manager, took a right pop back. Like I couldn't disagree more. The 4G pitches are great to have, and I think they're a great resource to have when the weather gets bad. But for you to be training on a 4G pitch the whole time is not good for your body whatsoever. So I don't know exactly the mechanics of how he did his cruciate, but there would just not be that same leeway or give underneath your leg, underneath your joints on a 4G pitch that there would be on a grass pitch. And that would definitely contribute to those type of injuries, your hip injuries, your knee injuries, all those type of injuries. At your age, no more than myself, that training on a 4G pitch, it would genuinely take me a week to recover from training on an all-weather or 4G pitch. Just your joints, everything would be in bits. So while they're a great resource, there's definitely a correlation between the increase in injuries and increased training being done on these pitches as well.
Yeah, and of course this all does sound trivial talking about these injuries when something so serious is going on at the moment. But I mean, we'll suspend reality for now and just talk a little bit more about the possible ramifications. Let's say best case scenario, the sort of irrelevant thing that is sport resumes in the next couple of months. He's probably going to be out for the season. There are other players that might be back by virtue of the fact that the season has been suspended. Like Ty de Burke did his cruciate, but we haven't seen him since. The talk was that he might be, based on injury projections, that he might be good to go in July or something like that. That he would be able to play for Waterford. Like, he's such a good player, especially when he's flying. But if the season is knocked back a couple of months, he's probably actually going to get an opportunity to be at the same level as other lads, because other lads won't play games either. Adrian Mullen did his cruciate. Depending on how long the season is suspended for, he could be back too. So it's sort of weird. There's a weird headspace for a lot of players who probably thought, I won't see any action till 2021, and maybe nobody will. But if things get going later in the year, it's kind of an interesting situation for those guys.
Yeah, I think Ty de Burke's time frame was a little different. I think it was more April, early May. So like he would look to have an outstanding chance here now. Yeah, it's a kind of a crazy scenario. Obviously, you have the rest of your panel, and they're just like, they're mad to play, they're mad to train, they're mad to get going. We don't, as I say, there's the caveat, the massive caveat. We don't know when things are going to pick back up again. But there could be a chance that some guys maybe who had written off their seasons, maybe Richie English, Adrian Mullen, and maybe John Conlon and these guys, maybe the whole championship of 2020 will be kind of null and void. We won't see any of it, and they'll be back fit to play in 2021. It would be, it's not like every cloud is a silver lining, but those guys might benefit from this kind of mad scenario that we're in at the moment. And guys who were going to be maybe under pressure to get back for the first round of Leinster or the first round of Munster might just have a better chance now. Funny enough as well, I was kind of just thinking there are probably some lads now who are enjoying this kind of break from training. Obviously it's an enforced break and everybody is, nobody's training together or anything like that. But there's some guys I'd say would like, maybe even a break now after the league, and they're going off doing their own bits. They don't know when they're going to be back or anything like that, which is obviously a big thing. But they'd maybe enjoy those couple of weeks off, maybe that they wouldn't have been afforded otherwise. Be interesting to see what's going to happen. Doesn't look like Club Month is going to exist now. There's going to be some amount of, we obviously don't know over the next couple of weeks, but there's going to be some amount of moving and shaking to organise fixtures. Like, we're only hearing back in Offaly there with regards to our club championship, if it does go ahead, rather than one group of 8, it could be 2 groups of 4, and it could be played on nearly a knockout basis. So it's going to be interesting to see.
I suppose, even guys like Shane Dowling, who has a knee injury that John Kiley only said recently that might come right, that brings him back into contention. But are you going stone mad with the? I think everyone is probably finding it difficult to try and isolate to some degree. I'm not saying everyone's fully isolating, but the last few days are tough going, and like I try to get out and do a bit of pucking and that kind of stuff, but it's hard to keep yourself going.
No, it is a strange kind of feeling, isn't it? Yeah. I've kind of been out doing a lot of kind of hiking and that kind of stuff where you wouldn't really be in contact with anyone up mountains and stuff like that, and getting a bit of fresh air. But yeah, kind of self-isolating over the next, week to 10 days at least, and just have to take every precaution you possibly can to make sure that you're not coming in contact with anyone that you shouldn't be coming in contact with. But it's a strange one. Yeah, it's a strange kind of a break. It's not. It doesn't feel like a holiday or anything like that. You're in your house. You're out maybe going for a run or going for a few pucks or something like that. I actually don't have a hurl and a ball at the moment. My car is back in Offaly. I'm in the Clonsilla station here at the moment talking to you. So I don't have a hurl and a ball, and I'm going to have to get somewhere to get one without coming into contact with many people. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Yeah, and I even went for a walk in Bray yesterday with my youngest brother, and people are walking around and noticeably sort of stepping back to make sure no one touches off each other. It's mad the way the penny just dropped so much in the last few days about how serious this is, that you need to give people as wide a berth as possible. I suppose, like ourselves, many people just even avoiding going home to your parents when the first instinct is to go home when there's something like this so serious. And yet the thing is, you kind of take a minute to think about it, and you're like, that's actually the worst thing you could do. It's a very, very strange sort of inner dilemma.
Yeah, my father kind of half think I'm dodging doing a bit of farming at home by not coming home. I definitely think there's a part of him that thinks that. But no, it is kind of mad. Yeah, people everyone, like, you cough on a daily basis a couple of times, so do I. You sneeze on a daily basis, so do I. But everyone is heightened, and you're just like, oh Jesus, if I was anywhere near anyone when I do, I need to nearly get out of the room almost. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny like that. But I hope people are maybe starting to cop on over the last, couple of days, because what was going on in the pubs and that is just ridiculous, really. Like, it's grand, like having certain people like self-isolating or whatever, and then you have people mingling in bars and clubs and stuff like that. It's just kind of mad. The social distancing goes completely out the window. But hopefully it's probably going to get a bit worse before it gets better. But hopefully in a couple of weeks we might start seeing a bit of light. I have a good friend over in China there at the moment, and they've been self-isolating for the last maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and the numbers have massively come down. And it kind of saying to me, it's not a scenario where the numbers come down and you go back to normal. The numbers come down and you keep doing what you're doing, if not do it even to a stricter regime, and the numbers disappear completely.